Thanks for staying tuned. I'm Colin Abrams with the HGP Sportscast. The Guyana Amateur Basketball Federation on Thursday officially launched the Road to Mecca 5, which commences this Saturday at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall. The tournament will run throughout the month of April at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall and will see the participation of 12 teams. Guyana Amateur Basketball Federation Vice President Michael Singh explained the format of the tournament and announced the names of the teams.
One has number 1 seed Bounty Colts, Half Mile Bulls, Pleasance Guardians, the Retrieve Raiders, the Burby Stop Club, which more than likely will be Kanji Knights or the Hope Town Steelers. They have a final being played this weekend, on Sunday, and that team will be in Group 1. Based on the outcome last night's GABA qualifying, Ravens is now in Group 1. Group 2 is the runner-up of last year's event, which is Victory Valley Royals. The automatic qualifier from the GABA recent tournament, Republic Banknets, the number 3 seed, the third place finisher last year, Cobras, Amelia Swartz Jets, Paysetters, and an automatic buys Eagles Basketball Club. 12 clubs playing in a round-robin format. The top 2 clubs goes through into a knockout stage.
President of the GABF, Nigel Hines, said that the aim of the federation is to produce quality basketball and to develop the athletes, while explaining the reason for expanding the number of teams participating.
But we thought this is our mandate, this is our motto, to promote and develop basketball. And when we felt that having competitive games are very important, and we didn't want to deny teams who are capable of competing and even winning games left out of the National Club Championships. So this is what drove us to expand it to 12 teams.
This year there will be $2 million Guyana in cash and prizes to be won, which was explained by the federation.
Club or the club that is going to win Road to Mecca 2018 will receive $600,000. The second place club will receive $400,000. And the third place club will receive $300,000. Of course, the most valuable player will receive a total of $200,000. The player with the most rebound will receive $100,000. The most improved player will receive $100,000. And the player that amassed the most points will receive $100,000. So in total, those are the cash prize for the individual accolades as well as for the teams.
On Saturday from 4 p.m., action will begin and will see 8 teams opening the season. There will be free admission for all games in the round-robin stages of the tournament. However, the semifinals and finals will have an entrance fee of $1,000. The GABF is encouraging the public to support their favorite teams and to take advantage of the waiver of the admission fees. The women's national basketball team is set to take part in the Caribbean pre-qualifier and FIBA Women's Caribbean Cup scheduled for June this year. Kristen Macklingham has more.
The Guyana women's national basketball team is set to take on the best in the region with the hope of gaining a spot in the FIBA AmeriCup 2021 Caribbean pre-qualifier and the FIBA Women's Caribbean Cup. Those are set to take place in Paramaribo, Suriname in June. In the preliminary phase for the FIBA AmeriCup 2021 Caribbean pre-qualifier, which begins on June 24 and concludes on June 28, Guyana is placed in Group A alongside Barbados and Dominica. Teams placed 3 through 5 from each group will play in the classification phase, while the first and second place teams from each group advances to the semi-finals and finals. The FIBA AmeriCup 2021 Caribbean pre-qualifier classification and final phases will begin on June 28 and conclude on June 30. The FIBA AmeriCup 2021 Caribbean pre-qualifier will qualify 2 teams for the FIBA AmeriCup 2021 qualifiers beginning in September. The 2 qualified Caribbean teams will join the South American and Central American pre-qualifier champions, along with the 4 eliminated Round 1 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifier Americas teams. The FIBA Women's Caribbean Cup will qualify 3 teams for the FIBA Women's Central Basket Championship later this year. For HGP Sport, I am Kristen Macklingham.
Thank you, Kristen. Guyanese Colin Superman Lewis continued his boxing dominance over St. Lucian Nathan Ferrari on Wednesday. He won a 4-1 decision according to the 5-judge panel in the men's 64 kg welterweight first-round Commonwealth Games fight to get his Gold Coast Games campaign off to a positive start. Colin Lewis's next bout will be against South Africa's Saint Themba Bloom in the division's round of 16. Meanwhile, the other boxer representing the Golden Arrowhead in Australia, Kavib Alicock, will begin his campaign against Rhys McFadden of Scotland in the flyweight class on Monday. And moving on, Ansgrove United FC was earlier this week sanctioned after they failed to show up Saturday last at a scheduled GFF Elite League 3 match. The team coach says the fine will be paid so that they can continue in the league. I spoke with the Ansgrove head coach over the telephone to get some background on the reason for missing the match. So last week you missed an Elite League match and you were sanctioned and had to pay $200,000. You're scheduled to play today in the Elite League. What are the progresses made with the payment of these funds?
Well, the last information I received is that a former member of our club, the information I received 2 days ago, that he will be coming into the country today, and he will stand the expense on the payment of the sanction.
Okay. Was an explanation given to the Federation on why the match was missed?
Okay, well, why we missed the game is because of it's due to the change in the date of our game, right? Because we are the only team that plays 6 games, include the one that we missed. So in all we play 5 games, right? While Victoria King is going to play the last game today. But the fixture that our manager received from our secretary, right? It stated that we were scheduled to play on the 4th at number 5 venue, right? So, but I heard that GFF sent a fixture through the WhatsApp, right, through the internet to our secretary, right? So the mix-up came between the secretary, right, because she gave a fixture to the manager with the force, but then maybe the fixture was changed after that.
Okay.
So that we were to play on Saturday, but we never knew that we were playing on Saturday because we prepared to play the game on Sunday.
Okay. According to sources within the GFF, a match notice is usually sent out to the teams 48 hours before the scheduled match, so as to avoid any mix-up like this current one. The sanction was activated in accordance with Rule 4.16 of the GFF Elite League Season 3. A no-show is when a team willfully does not appear at a game without a specific agreement approved by the GFF. The penalties for a no-show are as follow: a 3-1 loss, a 3-point deduction from their standings, and a league fine of $200,000. All fines and fees must be paid before the next scheduled match of the club in the Elite League. If fines and fees are not paid within the prescribed time, the GFF may consider options on continued participation in the league. A club may be expelled from the league if it accumulates 2 no-shows within 1 season. A team unable to attend a scheduled game because of an accident, weather, or force majeure should immediately notify the GFF. And finally, Windies women's captain Stephanie Taylor rises up on the ICC ODI ranking, while Hayley Matthews and Dottin retained their places in the T20 bowling rankings. Stanford has more.
In the latest International Cricket Council player rankings for the ODI and T20 formats, the Windies women continue to dominate and do well. Taylor maintained her #1 ranking in the T20 batting, while DeAndre Dottin stays in 5th place. Taylor moved up in the record books to 5th place on the all-time top women scorers in ODI cricket during the recent ODI series versus New Zealand. Taylor surpassed New Zealand's Debbie Harkley to move up into the top 5 with 4,230 career runs. The list is still topped by Matilda Raj of India with 6,295 runs. That was not Taylor's only achievement. She is also in 2nd place in women's T20 career runs with 2,582 runs, just 24 runs short of becoming the all-time leading scorer in T20 women's cricket. Charlotte Edwards of England, who is now retired, hold the top spot with 2,605 runs. Hayley Matthews also remained the #1 ranked T20 all-rounder, followed by Dottin in second and Taylor in third. Matthews is third in the T20 bowling rankings. Still reeling from the disappointing tour of New Zealand, Taylor is still taking this achievement in stride, as she hopes her team will rebound to successfully defend their title in November this year. The 2018 ICC World T20 Champions will be hosted in Guyana, St. Lucia, and Antigua and Barbuda. For the HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
Thank you, Stanford, and that has brought us to the end of this edition of the HGP Sportscast. Before we go, remember, life is like a sport. Always remember to play fair. Have an enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.